for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace and former Ottawa Senators Bobby Ryan and Jason York.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Coming In Hot. Brent Wallace alongside longtime Ottawa Senators Jason York and Bobby Ryan. Gentlemen, neither one of you trade deadline dates. And we could have used it today because it wasn't very exciting.
It's a little bit dull, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not over yet. Maybe something will come rushing in here at the end.
I power washed the garage, just waiting for my phone to ring. Anything, nothing.
Yeah. Put the lawn furniture out. Did some. It's like springtime here in Ottawa, Bob. I don't know what's going on. It's balmy.
It's definitely not here. It's ugly out. So, but it was nice little Whole Foods, just waiting for the phone. Nothing happening. I was watching golf instead of checking Twitter.
What about your Branny thing there?
I don't know what. So with Dumba, I was wondering if somebody would like bite the bullet here as soon as Dumba trade got announced. It said, hey, maybe the market just opened up for him, but does not look like the case, does it?
No, I forgot. Brannstrom's Ottawa still controls the asset. Like, he's not a UFA, so he's an RFA after this season. The problem is he never should have got a contract for $2 million. So
yeah.
What, you know why? Why is there any reasoning why he got $2 million, Wally?
Is this a legit question?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Well,
and I'm not slagging him. It is what it is. You're worth what you've done so far, and it was like, what? No, I know why, because Pierre traded Mark Stone, and he
wanted to keep him.
Yeah.
But he still could have kept him and just paid him less. Like, it didn't make any sense. Again, where's that video when we need it with the scooter there?
Gavin, fire it up.
That the player negotiated into his contract, so it certainly adds a different dynamic to the whole process. So I'm happy with the return.
That's all I can say. That's like when you don't know, you just show that. I guess it explains it.
God love Greg.
He's so good. Yeah. Thanks, Greg. That was nice work there.
He's extremely talented. So as of right now, the Ottawa Senators went through trade deadline the day, doing nothing. Well, they did claim Boris Katchouk off waivers, so they did do that. They got a 6'2", 205-pound winger who's played 155 career games. He was a 44th overall pick in 2016 by Tampa. I don't know what he does.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, like I said to you before the show, I had to look him up. So it's not much to be said about him, but at least his name sounds like Katchouk, and it'll be confusing for people.
Well, I was going to say, we can't go from Katchouk to Katchouk.
It's tough. But
I watched him. I watched him back when he was playing for Sault Ste. Marie. I actually watched him in a playoff series when my son was playing for Kitchener. He was a really good junior player. I will say that. Talented, but I made the joke before we came on the show. Every single guy in the NHL was really good at the level they were before. That's why they're in the NHL. Yeah, there is some talent there, though. I will say this to Sens fans: he's a talented guy. For whatever reason, it hasn't worked in Chicago.
Okay, just so we're clear, Yorkie, the Senators brought in the guy from Chicago who was the Hobey Baker winner, Adam. Now I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right? Again, great goal scorer in college. Didn't do anything in the NHL, if you will. Same with there's been a couple of times we OHL scoring champions. Like we've seen it all along. Guys who are great in the O or great in junior can't make the adjustment to the NHL level.
But here's Ottawa's really, like, if you look at their minor league team right now, there's not a lot of forwards that you'll say this guy is got a chance to be a really good offensive player. So throw this guy, like, maybe you give him some games in Ottawa. Obviously, he's going to play in all the right way, but it just kind of brings up your talent level of that next tier of guys. Because you got to, if you look at the guys they're calling up, whatever. And what, at the end of the day, what are you going to do right now? Like, there's obviously no market for Kubalik, and when you're not going to give him away for whatever you're going to get, a 7th rounder, that's going to do you good. And see how he finishes off to the right. There obviously wasn't any market for Eric Brannstrom. Otherwise, you would have traded him. And really, when you really think about it, which playoff team, and watch somebody trade for Brannstrom right now, make me eat my words. What team that is looking to bring in depth right now is going to say, you know what? Eric Brannstrom is going to help put us over the top here, and he's going to be a really good complementary piece. Like, you look at what Toronto just did. What did they bring in? They brought in a 6'5" defenseman. Tampa brought in Dumba, who's got experience. He used to play with some jam. Like, there obviously was zero market for Eric Brannstrom. Otherwise, they would have traded him. It's just, it is what it is. Staios is basically a janitor right now. He's cleaning up aisle 5. That's what he's doing. He's cleaning up the mess. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, it's a mess.
Yeah. I'd rather see them do nothing at all than panic and make brash decisions too, right? That's the downside of it. So, you touched on the 2 players that I possibly thought could have gone somewhere, and obviously Kubalik, there's just no market for. He hasn't done enough to put himself into that conversation this year. And Brannstrom just is so miscast that people don't know what he is. Right? Like, you have no clue what kind of defenseman he is. And he's not going to a contending team to play 24 minutes because that's not his body of work. People know him as a certain way now. He's typecast a little bit. So, clean up aisle 7 or whatever you said, and then that's all he's doing right now. So,
hey, how about
nothing wrong with not doing anything. Right?
How about Kubalik? We pumped his tires yesterday. He goes out first couple of minutes of the game, pots a goal. Just goes to show you, though, like, he's not gonna score unless he's on the power play. Hey, surprise! You get rid of Tarasenko, power play spot opens up. Kubalik scores. That's what he does. If I was a team, I would have called on Kubalik for just in case you get injuries in the playoffs, because the guy can score, can do that. Just he hasn't had any opportunity with the way we talked about it yesterday. Ottawa's just too deep with power play guys, so it's been a terrible situation for him. Yeah. There was zero fit from the beginning for him. Zero fit.
And let's not forget, Staios has said a few times now, the trade deadline was just one area where he could look to improve the team. But you really got the sense it was going to be in the summer, maybe before the draft, when they've got more chance to sit around and I guess to figure out what it is they need to try and do with this club. That's what I'm thinking. I always thought the summer was going to be a bigger deal than it was trade deadline. You've said that from the get-go, haven't you? It just seems that, like, if you listen to him talk, he's always said he was going to be patient. So doing it at the deadline is not necessarily about patience. Doing it afterwards, when you've made your coaching change and you've got that sorted out, and he's told you what kind of players he wants to put in this roster, and you start to build that way.
Yeah. Well, this is what they can really do for the rest of the year. Really pump up the guys you want to move at the draft. Brannstrom, guess what? You're on the power play full time now, and you're going to play 20 pool. It's a perfect storm now with Shabbat injured. I'll guarantee you, put a guarantee on this right now. Brannstrom's going to play amazing the rest of the season. He's going to. You're calling it? I'm calling it right now. He's playing 20 minutes a night. He's going to start getting some power play time, just like last year when everybody got excited about him. This is what he's going to have opportunity. He's going to, and teams are going to take Ottawa lightly because they're out of the playoffs. Ottawa's going to play really well. Brannstrom's going to have a great finish, and he's going to be much easier to trade at the draft. You'll get something for him now instead of right now. You would have to give him away for nothing. Yeah, true. And you're. I mean, when anybody gets elevated minutes, they're going to look good comparatively to where he's been playing now. So, it's an important finish here for these guys. Like, they're being evaluated much closer and much harder than they have been in the past, I would say. So some guys really need to assert themselves for the rest of the year if they want to be part of the core going forward. Yeah. No, it'll be interesting for a guy like Katchouk, for example. Mm-hmm. Really important for him how he plays the rest of the year.
Boy,
Parker
did he
Kelly.
take a hard hit yesterday.
Oh, that
Two.
was nasty, eh?
Yeah.
If you will, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But
have either one of you ever run into the post like that?
oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, Yorkie, did you not have the steel pegs back in the day where they didn't move at all?
The beginning, I think they were. Yeah, no, it was not. Yeah, but I went into the net. That's why my knee's bad right now. I remember I was playing, and that actually came off. I was actually playing in Boston against Ottawa. Alfie went around wide on me. I pivot, and then Alfie's so good at protecting the puck, and his ass is just so big. He just boing, you bounce right off it. And then I went spinning into the net like a helicopter, and my leg went against the post, and that's how you do. That's how you tear your MCL. Your leg goes one way, but it was because of Alfie's ass that my knee's bad, and I just too. You can't get at him. He's just so good at protecting the puck.
Yeah, he was very good at that. He used to come out. I remember Neeler, myself, Alfie, Clark MacArthur, Sean Donovan, excuse me, and Don Chow came out for some goalie skates, but we were all hurt going into that long playoff run that we went on. We were all hurt for like 4 to 6 weeks, and we did more quick touch, keep away type stuff than I had ever done. And I'm convinced it has so much to do with why I played well in the playoffs, because we were just working on those little area skills. And the final was always Alfie and I didn't win many. He was just so unbelievable at all those little things, like those 5 foot little sauce passes. It drove me nuts. Every single day I'd leave the rink pissed off.
There's a really cool, I used this when I was coaching my junior team, about how hockey's just a series of 10-foot games. Like everything's in a short little radius. And if you, number one, win the race to the puck, number two, establish body position. And now in the league more than ever, because you can't grab, you can't hook, you can't hold. Like it's just get there, protect it. Yeah, Alfie's been doing that. He's been doing that little keep away game since I think he came into the league. That's funny. That's funny. That makes a lot of sense. So that you attribute that great playoff to just working on some skills, because you wouldn't have time to work on that kind of stuff, right?
No, so much of practicing, especially at that time of the year, is just about running routes, right? Like you're actually just going through the flow drills. There's no more installing. You guys all know what the system is at that point. So you're just recapping or flushing basically at that time of the year. And the guys were on a pretty long road trip, if I remember correctly, at one point, and we were skating by ourselves at home. And it was like a week and a half of just little things like that. I'm convinced it had so much to do with it for me. It's like even in between playoff series, I wanted to keep doing it. So I went and skated with the Black Aces and played 3-on-3 down low. I was the only guy that was actively dressed skating with the Black Aces, and those guys are just so hungover. They don't want to be there. They're just like,
get out of here.
To get ready. Yeah, it was after the Boston. I'm getting ready for New York. And these poor guys, like they would come out and we would run power play drills, and they'd be so hungover because that's what Black Aces do.
Just get after it.
Yeah. And like we were like, our power play is going to be 50% next round because we were flying.
It's funny.
I can barely stand up.
Oh, just hung to the gills.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny you say that about. We used to joke around about this, especially defensemen. Your individual skills. People will think this sounds crazy. Your individual skills that you were so good at in junior actually get worse when you play in the NHL because you never practice them. Like your passing is off the charts. You don't miss a pass. Receiving, skating gets way better, but your little like fine skills, they actually get worse because you never work on them ever. Yeah. At least you don't do. It's just over and over and over again. Skates fast, retrieve, get to an area, on your stick, off your stick, and then it's like, shit, I don't know the stick handle anymore. Yeah, like, what happened to me?
It's true. As I was leaving, they were starting to do more just a development days, they would call them, where you had 2 days in between a game or whatever. So the first day, it was always an optional, and a lot of guys took them, but it was just doing touch drills and things like that. Whereas, I'm not going to pass to this line, get a pass from this line, go shoot. It's just different. I think it's absolutely a developmental thing that more teams are starting to install.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't anywhere close to today's discussion. I apologize to everybody who tuned in for the Nerd Report.
What are we going to talk about? Like,
Yeah.
really?
I was like, we already talked about all the trades.
But last one on trade deadline before we move to last night's game. Well, who is the best team in the National Hockey League right now to win the Stanley Cup after the moves they made? Now, before you say anything, we do have updated Stanley Cup odds brought to you by Betway. Please play responsibly. Must be 19 plus. The Edmonton Oilers up at the top, which surprised me. I don't know how you bet against Florida at the moment. So it goes Edmonton, Florida, Colorado, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Dallas, Boston, Carolina. I know Toronto's in that group of plus 1,200 as well. And the Rangers, I think. But who are you guys taking right now? I think Florida's the team.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. Wait, where are the Golden Knights at?
They are below plus. I think they're plus 1,300 or something. I'll tell you.
Say, like they're kind of in the mix too. But for me, it's Florida. I like their pickups. I think Kyle Okposo is going to be a sneaky good pickup. Yeah, he's got some game left. He wants to win. He's a good player. He's hard to play against too. So I think that's a great pickup. Obviously, Tarasenko is going to help. I'm wondering. It'd be interesting to see who he plays with and how he meshes with them. But he can mesh with anybody the way he plays. So for me, it's them. It's going to be a cool Edmonton, Florida final, possibly. Like, that's a lot of travel.
Hey, how about the rumor I heard out of Boston? Jack Edwards is picking up Pat Maroon at the airport.
It's not a rumor. They were just being idiots. Bobby, you've got to tell us. You've got to get Pat to say what he thinks about going to Boston.
I'll shoot him a text to get some info.
Probably stoked.
He's stoked to go to Boston. I'm just curious what he initially thought when he's like, I got to see that. Well, I know Pat, when he was on our show, said, I don't really give a shit what Jack Edwards has to say. I just want to know if it's uncomfortable at all. That would be what I'm curious about.
All right, let's see if he gets back to me.
Well, here's how do you not go with Boston? Everywhere Maroon goes, he wins.
Yeah,
I know.
But to answer your question, do you see Carolina picked up Kuznetsov late today?
Yeah,
it's a sneaky pick there. If he can get it together, but I like Carolina. I like their D. I just don't know about their goaltending. That's the only thing. Their goaltending kind of scares me. Like you guys said, tough to bet against Carolina. I still really like Colorado in the West. Nate, like you got Nate McKinnon, you got Cal McCarr, and you got arguably the best complimentary player in the league in Mikko Rantanen. The guy's an absolute stud, and their goaltending's pretty good.
Yeah, they're hard to bet against,
right?
But yeah, for me, Carolina's just always missing something. I don't know what they got better for sure. And imagine if Kuznetsov goes in there and plays the way he's capable of playing still, like he could really help them. But I don't know what it is about that team. There's just something that, like, they're always a good, strong pick to come to the Eastern Conference final, but they just, for whatever reason, they I don't know. They don't fit my eye test, but you can't argue with their record and who they are.
They put the boots to Florida last year, outplayed them every game. Remember Rod the Bod? He's like, I don't know what to say. Like, we outplayed them. We just can't score.
Yeah.
Like he was bewildered.
Whatever happened? Is Landeskog going to play again? Because that would be, I mean, he missed a lot of hockey.
Yeah, I don't think he's back, right? And so that's an interesting one for me. I can't remember what the latest was on Gabriel Landeskog.
Okay, who picked up Hurdle? Did you say Carolina got Hurdle?
No, Vegas took Hurdle.
Whoa,
and boy. San Jose retained some of the salary, which is...
Are you kidding me?
Like,
big...
There's so much helping going on.
Yeah. And on top, so now they don't have any spots to hold for next year, right? I think they'll be at the limit of what you can retain going forward.
San Jose?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get 3 spots.
Yeah, which I think that well, they're not anywhere close to winning, so or even competing. So I guess it doesn't matter for them in the meantime. But you can't make your team you can make your team better by helping teams out with retaining. So I don't know. That might handcuff them a little bit next year. Patty, I just said, if Jack Edwards picking you up at the airport, he better. So
that's so good.
He's a beauty. I love that guy.
Oh, he's got to be
He's
fired
good.
up.
Uh,
Are we officially done, Wally, on the trade? Anything trickling in?
Well, not that I'm aware of, but
I'm gonna check.
it's just like it's interesting to see those big teams, even Edmonton, that all got better at the deadline. You can say Toronto did too. Winnipeg certainly did. It's fun to watch those guys all gear up to see who will end up coming out on top. Even Carolina, like Jake Gensel, right? So much that's been added.
There's your goal scoring. There's the guy that can put the. You like Gensel as a player, Bob?
Yeah, I do. He's arguably he's a premier goal scorer in the playoffs. You think back to remember that Flyer series? He had 6 or 7 goals.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a very good goal scoring winger. So he's going to provide them with a lot of depth. So I don't know, just something about that team.
Yeah, I look at. I call Vegas is like a superpower now. Edmonton's a superpower. Colorado, Carolina, Florida. Those are my 5.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas too, man. Like that. The West is going to be a lot of fun to watch. I
where's Winnipeg for you?
But,
like Yorkie, we haven't even mentioned Vancouver, who has just been constantly good all year. Winnipeg has gotten.
I'm not buying what Vancouver's selling.
For me, Winnipeg has goaltending, which is huge, right? When you have Connor Hellebuck.
He was terrible last year in the playoffs.
Okay.
They weren't good in front of him, though. They kind of left him out to dry, didn't they, last year?
He had a great year. It's tough to argue what he's done. I just didn't like what he did last year in the playoffs. I thought he was outplayed. So there's going to be so much pressure on him. We'll see. I like Winnipeg's team. They're big, they're heavy, they're fast, they're extreme. I love Bones. He's a great coach. They've got all the, why mess with a good thing, right? And they brought in Toffoli, who's got some history with Monahan. I'll throw Winnipeg in the mix too. I thought.
What's going to be interesting though is whoever comes out of the West is going to be exhausted. Some tough series, man.
Just a beating getting out of there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are going to be some tough series.
All right, let's get to last night's game. But before we do that, let's take care of some business. As always, this show proudly presented by our newest partner, and that is at Betway. Please play responsibly. It must be 19 plus. Make it your way. Make it with Betway. Also, by DoorDash. Get what you want from who you want, where you want. Just simply open up the DoorDash app and order from multiple restaurants or stores in the same delivery without additional delivery fees, so everyone can get what they want or need. Get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code NATION25. All uppercase letters, 25% off up to a $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order. Valid in Canada, subject to change, terms apply.
And as always, this show brought to you by our good longstanding friends at BEI. Bonisher Excavating is the heavy civil general contractor in both the public and the private sectors. When planning your next project, consider BEI for your aggregate supply needs, including all things from equipment rentals, haulage, floating. They move stuff. You can find them at bonisherexcavating.com or at 613-432-1120. As always, slow down at construction zones. BEI, helping to shape Ottawa Valley.
If you want to get a great night's sleep, well, you got to get yourself a Douglas mattress. Named Canada's best mattress on Canadian living. It's unrivaled comfort, feel, and that motion isolation. It sleeps cool, relieves pressure points, and of course, it's a great value. Loved by more than 200,000 Canadians and over 10,000 5-star reviews. It's easy online ordering and free shipping. You can get Douglas delivered right to your door in usually 1 to 4 business days. Every mattress order comes with a free Comfort Sleep Bundle, which includes pillows, sheets, mattress protector. Order your Douglas mattress today. Don't wait. Start your 365-night sleep day trial by visiting douglas.ca/CIH.
Wow, that's a long time. And of course, by Wendy's in the Daily Face-Off Survivor Pool. For those of you who want to smoke the competition, Wendy's rewarding you with weekly prizes will have you winning despite your lack of team building skills. Download the Wendy's app and score yourself 150 bonus reward points on your first order and grab a sweet victory from the mouth-watering jaws of defeat, along with some fresh, never-frozen Canadian beef. Go to dailyfaceoff.com and play the Wendy's Daily Face-Off Survivor Pool every day to win weekly prizes like the spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's and the Wendy's app. Okay, gentlemen. So it seems like anytime we all pick the same team to win, the other team wins. and we all went with. Oh no, we all did pick LA. It was for a moment.
we're all winners.
It's going to look like Ottawa should have won that game until the very end. Ottawa again. They play well enough to win games. They're just not coming out on the other side.
Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Have you embraced the tank? Is that where you're at, Yorkie?
Well, I saw our good buddy Doodling Daryl had a great one today. He had the picture of the tank. I think Brady was driving it. You had Stitzel up there. It was a fantastic picture. And they're not doing it on purpose, but it's perfect. Playing really well. You're playing much more responsible defensively. Just you're not winning, so you're going to get a great draft pick. It's a perfect storm.
Yep, perfect storm. Well, I just saw something interesting. I just saw that Gustav and Forsling. Like what a story that guy is. Sorry, I know we're off topic, but he's getting an 8-year extension. Like that was a waiver wire guy, wasn't he, Forsling? For Florida,
I don't know where they got him. I never heard of him, but you watch him play. He's one of the most dependable D in the league.
Dude, he can skate and break the puck out. And then I saw the other piece of news that trickled through on Phil. Phil Kessel did not get signed, and now he can't play. So if another team were to sign him, he would be ineligible to play in the playoffs. So it's just older guy, obviously, and I don't know what his role would be anywhere now. But
just bring him in as a room advisor. Bring him in.
Let him run your card game and have some fun.
Get him on the plane. Get him running your, like you say, card game in before the dressing room. Like have him cruise by with just a towel on, loosen the boys up. Get the guys laughing.
That's it.
Get him in there for the post game. I think. Hey, that's what we did in Vegas last year. Like, remember when we had Stoner on? Stoner talked about how great Phil was in the dressing room and believes it was, set the mood, right?
Yeah, everybody loves him. I was surprised he didn't get picked up for something, just for a depth piece somewhere. I thought there was an opportunity that
it would be perfect. They always say this: if you're a good room guy, well, you should stay in the room. Well, this is perfect. Just keep Phil in the room for your playoff run. It'd be great.
Hand out orange slices at the intermission.
That's the guy. You need that guy.
Just a piece of note on Gustav Forsling. Waived twice, by the way. But he was traded from Chicago to Carolina with our good friend Calvin DeHaan and Anton Forsberg as part of that deal.
Okay. Yeah.
He
did well for himself. But the game was late and I had finished moving. So I was I had it on for a bit, but I gotta be honest, my attention span was low on that one. But again, I agree. I think they played well enough to win. They just don't find ways to. They find ways to lose. Yeah. Right?
Yes.
Well,
as they did last time.
That puck on the I believe it was the Quentin Byfield goal. Mm-hmm. He was like dribbling that puck in and just whacked it out of the air. And even the overtime goal, like Stützle has the puck, he gets stripped, and somehow they bounce another one by Korpisalo. Yeah, it's his MIA. The goalie played good, but again, key times, key moments, doesn't make the stops. But weird game.
Well, okay, but I believe the tying goal goes in off Tim Stützle's stick.
Well, one went off Brannstrom's shin pad and bounced in. Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
wasn't one off Sanderson? So
yeah,
like we can bitch and complain about.
No, he was fine.
I thought he was for Korpisalo. I thought he was excellent.
I wouldn't call it excellent, but he was good.
Listen, I said I put it a disclaimer for his game. I thought he was excellent.
Okay, that's a fair assessment.
So you're bringing down the bar.
What kind of
yes, the bar's not very high, Yorkie.
Okay. Very fair.
Okay,
this is a whole new. So basically, you're like university. You're curbing the mark.
It's the slide rule. Yeah. So
it's a curbed rating system because.
Okay, now there's a bit of controversy at the end of the game. DJ Smith was showing emotion that he beat his former team. Sens fans not happy. Let's just say some.
Why?
Because they thought that he was being classless in his happiness. And
You got a video?
No. No, he was just like, was he happy? Sure. But why wouldn't you be?
Right. Coaches are just as bad as players when you go back to play a team. that you played for or coached, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? But the coaches are just as bad as players. They want that win just as much as we do.
Yeah.
I always used to want to win going back to Anaheim, et cetera. So like I don't have any issue with it. He's probably charged up and he lost his job. Nobody wants to lose their job, right? Like he probably has a feeling about it and probably put some money on the board for the boys. So everybody's happy.
Listen, as soon as Jacques came in, right away, DJ knew the writing was on the wall. And then you get fired. You go to a new team. I know when I got traded from Anaheim to Nashville, you wish and you watch the scoreboard and you hope that team loses every game. Mm-hmm. So DJ, it's bullshit when people say, I hope the team does well. No, you don't. You want them to lose every single game and to make yourself look good because, see, I told you they were bad. It wasn't me. It's like, so don't fool yourself. He wants Ottawa to burn and crash. And why wouldn't he? And why wouldn't he?
And then you basically brought his replacement in and made him coach in front of said replacement, and probably feels like he was strung along and probably left and said all the right things like we all do, but he probably felt exactly how Gorky just described.
So,
right?
So something I heard this week, I believe it was Monday. I ran into someone and they said Steve Staios wanted to fire DJ before the trip to Sweden, but that's when they went on that bit of a run, and he realizes now it was one of the biggest mistakes that he may have made was to not do it at that time and to make the switch and to wait. So, but that's just right. They went on a run. We all said it. That's what saved him his job.
Yep.
It's been proven. Like obviously DJ, it was time for a change, but the proof's in the pudding. This team is not built correctly. Like that's a big problem with why this team is so inconsistent. It just wasn't. It was put together with very little thought, and a lot of big name chasing. And you just go back to DeBrincat. Like you gave up a top 10 pick for a guy you weren't sure if you're going to be able to re-sign. Like, do your homework.
I understand. Let me put this to you though. If you still had that roster of players, could you still not have found a way to be better? That's the question. We all look at certain teams and go, wow, look what they're doing this year. How are they doing it? Whatever. Yeah. I think Ottawa still should have been able to have been a better hockey team and to play a better game better structured game.
I agree with that. But I if you look at the teams, like you look at the certain veterans that Detroit brought in, like it's not all the same thing over there. Like, and you look at Ottawa's blue line, for example, like we've gone over this so many times. You've got so much of the same thing. You've got a 5'8" defenseman playing in a shutdown role.
Poor kid.
Not ideal.
Like you've got.
But there's been other players, like I think of Troy Stetcher, who's not a very big player, who was a very good shutdown D guy. Who could play a third role pairing as a defenseman. Like you can still find the talent. You brought in a power play specialist in Kubalik that you don't have room to play on your power play. like this is what he's best at, one timing on the power play. You still should be able to win. I think even with last year's lineup, you should have been able, and they did finish better than maybe we thought. They were close at one point to a playoff spot.
There was obviously structural reasons. They weren't playing the right way. It's everything combined. When you take the whole thing and you smush it all together, it's like a bad homemade burger. That's what it is. You got like the onions sticking out, and it's like the blood on the bun. Like it's just terrible. It's like, oh God.
Let me guess, it's overcooked.
You've got like instead of a bun, you got two pieces of bread instead of the nice. Like, watch, I guarantee you, like, there's going to be Staios is going to make his mark at the draft. He's going to put his stamp on the team and make the changes that need to be done, and probably bring in some good UFAs and change. He's already on the record. He's on the record of saying this team needs to be changed on how it's built. And everybody knows it.
Correct.
Okay. We'll see what happens. They've got to do something with goaltending. They don't have a choice at this point.
What are you going to do?
Well, that's why the GM gets paid.
He's gonna.
Right?
They're gonna. There's creative ways to get the cap situation fixed with goalies, but it's gonna be interesting to see if they have to just bury them in the minors next year and bring in somebody. So now you're paying a lot of money to 3 goalies, right? But
they did it in Montreal for it feels like all year until they just got rid of Jake Allen. Mike,
right.
But here's the thing: I'm gonna ask both of you. If Jonas Korpisalo and Anton Forsberg are on your roster for next season, what are you telling to A, your players, and B, the fans of Ottawa that we're just hoping things are going to turn around?
That's exactly what they're going to tell us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's exactly what they're going to say. They can't be worse than they were. Let's hope they're better. Right. Like,
yeah. No.
I think they're going to, the message will be, look, we've got a brand new right shot defenseman that is a top 4D that's going to come in and change the makeup of your D, and probably another D. Like, you probably don't see Hamonic back, probably don't see Brannstrom back, and you probably see Chychrun get traded at the draft. So you're going to see a huge shakeup on the defense, and then you're going to see some veteran forwards come in that play a defensive-minded game, but can play with some pace. Mm-hmm. So I think when they do that, they'll say, listen, we're changing how we play, more responsible, tougher to play against. Now let's see how our goalies do. At least based on what Staios said about the goaltending, like, he goes, when we play the right way, they've been good. So if he truly believes that, he's going to make the team be able to play like that more often in front of these two guys, start the season and see how it goes.
So here's the question. Well, maybe not so, but here's something to look after. Jacob Markstrom, when he was UFA before signing with Calgary in the big deal, same time they brought in Matt Murray, Ottawa was negotiating with him, and they thought they had him signed, from what I've been told. I think they were off by like $500,000. Wow. And then so eventually Markstrom signed in Calgary, and that's what happened to Matt Murray coming in. But the one thing I was told was they aren't sure if Markstrom was just using Ottawa as leverage, but they were negotiating with Jacob Markstrom. So maybe they can find a way to revisit that.
Yeah, potentially. We shall see.
I don't know free agency well enough. I wasn't in it for more than 1 year at the end there, and but I don't think it's uncommon for players and or goalies or whatever it might be to use other teams as leverage, right? I think that's
right. Yeah, for sure.
I think you see a lot of it. I think, so
why wouldn't you? Right. I totally understand it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I'm not sure if that's what happened or if they just couldn't come to a deal, but all I'm saying is they were negotiating. So Jacob Markstrom was at least maybe considering Ottawa. So let's see what we can get back on that horse. How about, damn it, if Pierre was still here, we could all say, bring in Jacob Markstrom, and it would work.
Okay. Maybe.
Damn it. Need him back.
Man.
Anyway. All right, let's get to lock of the day, which is
right.
San Jose is up next. For the love of God, this losing streak has to end on Saturday, does it not?
It's going to be a pillow fight.
San Jose is the worst home team in the National Hockey League at 9-19-3. In the last 33 games alone, they are 6-23-4. They have won 6 of their last 33 games. And in fact, their last 9, 0-7-2. Now, we did play up the fact that Anaheim was struggling, and that didn't help us out. But they don't score a lot. So I'm thinking Ottawa has a better chance here. San Jose held to 1 goal or less 26 times this year. 9 times they've been shut out, which ties them, I think, with Chicago. So
I don't even know who's their goalie. I don't even know who their goalie is.
Who's on this team?
Why do you do
this? The Duke is gone.
Well, Thomas
I don't-
Hurdle's gone.
I don't care who their goalie is. This team is bad. I'm taking Ottawa.
Mackenzie Blackwood, Capo Kakkonen, and Magnus Corona have all played games this season.
Mark me down for an Ottawa win. The streak ends.
Yeah.
I'm taking Ottawa.
We
Ottawa
can't.
doesn't have
All,
a great
people are
record
going to
on this.
lose their mind if we all take Ottawa.
We all took LA last night, so it doesn't matter.
Well, they were all thinking we were about to be wrong when it was 2-1.
Yeah.
The
Or when
last
it was
6
3-2.
games, 5-1. They're 0-12-1 against the Western Conference.
Yeah. Well, you could. Yeah.
But does San Jose count?
They shouldn't. But did San Jose come in and they beat Ottawa already this year? Didn't they?
I believe they did.
I believe so
In
too.
Ottawa, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're taking Ottawa, Yorkie.
I'm taking Ottawa. Yeah.
All right, what are you doing, Wally?
I've already done all the research. There's no chance I'm taking the Sharks with that kind of disaster. So Ottawa it is.
Okay. Then I'll take San Jose and go against you guys.
Wow.
Just to go against you.
5-4 win January the 13th for the Ottawa Senators.
Okay.
It's not that far of a reach. Look at that. Like you said, Ottawa 0-12 and 1 versus the West. Like, come on. There's a trend there.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go with San Jose just because I don't want everybody to flip out that we all pick the same team. So I'll keep
Just a sec, I gotta get to the chat here. No one's really up on you here, so that's okay. Wow. I'm shocked.
Nobody got after me on that one.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's no Bobby hates the Sens right now, so that's interesting.
Oh, good. Well, it's going to be a hell of a game. Can't wait to
And by the way, 7:00 Eastern for that game. So there.
Oh, I do
Thank
like
God.
that. I like.
God.
Yeah, I'll have that one on then. I'll be watching a junior Preds game tomorrow, so I'll be running home to get.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna go watch the junior Preds, the Centennial.
Is that what age? Will that be their midget team?
No, I'm going for a 10U team.
Oh,
nice. Buddy's kids playing, so I'm gonna go watch them.
Okay. All right.
They have a good program. It's coming. They've started to really build one there. It's the same with most. I'm finding most NHL teams because the former players stay and then their kids start playing on the teams. Like Buffalo's got a great program. Pittsburgh is another one. Dallas is coming around. Like Dallas, I think their junior team is like 5th in the country.
It's funny though. Most of the guys here that have kids, I guess, like Ryan Smith would be one of them. Sutton's kids just starting, but they're all doing something different from the Preds. There's a rink down here that's on a private land, and we're having another one built right around the corner. So there's more programs starting up, and nobody wants to drive all the way to Centennial. That's the problem, all the way downtown from down here. So some other programs opening up, but Seth Jones and Caleb Jones, their coach, skills coach, lives here and started a program. So my son's going to be skating in that now. So no junior Preds for me.
He's going to do all small ice, Bob, like they're talking about. 10 feet.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. I like the big ice for the little guys too. Make them get moving.
Get going.
Yep.
Well, you're the opposite of most.
Yeah.
Most people like the small ice stuff.
Yeah, because so in Canada, they've now gone to half ice up until age 12, age 11, age 12.
Yeah,
because they want the kids with more touches, and so they just go sideways. If you,
I agree with it from six to 8, maybe, but I don't know. Once the kids can move around a little bit,
but the argument is that
one kid can go end to end.
That's the one kid that can go end to end, so it's just a waste of time for everybody else to watch little Jimmy scooting up the ice and never passing the puck.
Fair enough. Yeah. I guess I haven't been around it enough. I'm just starting the process, but I do like watching my little guy skate on full ice.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's the little guy that can scoot up the ice. Yeah.
He can move. He doesn't like the puck yet, though. He's tentative. We're working on it. He's getting better every week.
The best is when you go to a practice and you see little kids that are just having a tough time, getting there on a big ice, and you see them doing a big ice practice, and they're doing the Russian circle on the big ice. So one kid goes, skates all the way around the circle, has to wait for the pass, and you got like 15 kids standing around watching. Oh boy.
Yeah.
You got to get creative at those ages, man. Very creative.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Last thing before we go, two things. One, Bob, now people are supporting you for embracing the tank and wanting San Jose to win. So I can't.
Okay.
Defeats, yeah.
Man of the people. Man of the people.
Someone asked us. So if you watch TSN, they did a mock lottery, draft lottery, and Ottawa came second.
Nice.
Someone in the chat said, let's start spinning. So I have on the tankathon right now. I'm going to tell you what the result is. Here we go. Oh, Columbus finished first and Ottawa finished seventh. So
Not
Yikes.
good. Not
not
good.
so good. So we'll just keep.
Can you just spin it as many times as you want till
Yes.
you get the first? Okay.
Yeah, you just keep spinning and then you're like, oh, I just got first. There you go. Ottawa, Chicago, San Jose, Anaheim. There we go.
Ottawa needs
another power play forward.
Oh God, yeah. Get a right D. Get a nice big right D that can skate. They need to get in the top three. Get in the top three. A top three pick's usually gonna pan out for you.
Okay, hang on a second. If you have a player who could be, I don't know, franchise altering, if you will, and I'm not sure that I'm not a scout, but the talk is he is without question, the number one pick.
Celebrini?
You're always supposed to take the best talented player.
For sure.
Then you can make it if you want to make a trade, whatever, for a defenseman.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm saying. So before people start to freak out and go, Jason York wouldn't take the first overall pick in Macklin.
No. I'm saying if you're at like around third, let's say you get third and the forwards and your D, you're like, okay, there's not a lot of difference. It would be nice to grab a right D that's got some huge upside.
Some size too.
Yeah.
Oh no, we don't need size.
Right shot center, whatever.
Okay.
Center
All
or
right.
a D. Center or a D.
Listen, Bobby's still got to go hang some pictures. So
I'm done. There's no more.
Let's
We
get
are
out
out. Everything's finished.
really,
Yeah.
everything
is finished. The house is done.
So Bob now needs to go sit on the sofa and put his feet up. Do you have like a smoking room, like a library type room where people leave you alone?
Yep. I'm in it right now in my office. Yeah.
Study.
It's off limits. It's my hangout. But
Okay.
in about an hour and a half, I'll have four kids running around here and it'll be mayhem. So the house is going to be clean for another hour.
Last thing before we go, you can order coming in hot merchandise at nationgear.ca. It is up. The Salty Wally should be out hopefully by Monday.
Oh, by the way, what happened with voting for the Brent Wallace show? Where are we at with that?
So tonight, it's funny you say that, is the award announcement.
Oh,
Are you nervous?
shoot us a text and let us know how we did.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've written my acceptance speech and everything.
think you're going to win?
Well, I don't know, but I might even mention you guys in it.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
See
Good
you
luck.
Monday, everybody.
Good
Take
luck with
care.
the award show, Wally.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.